Why discipline is everything. Discipline is the bedrock of all excellence. It's the silent force that draws a line between those who merely wish and those who actually accomplish. People like to glorify motivation, treating it like the magical fuel for success. They chase it, wait for it, and as soon as it vanishes, they slide back into their old ways. But the truth? Motivation is just a feeling, fleeting, unreliable, inconsistent. Discipline, however, is solid. It doesn't change with your mood or the environment. It's a decision, a vow, a code you live by, whether you're inspired or not. Discipline earns respect because it's rare. It's the silent drive that pushes you forward when motivation disappears. Picture waking up before dawn, not because you're excited, but because you promised yourself you would. Your body protests, your mind offers excuses, but you get up anyway. That's discipline. It's that voice inside that whispers, do it, even now. While others roll over for more sleep, you're already moving, taking charge of your day before it begins. Success is not created in comfort. It's forged through daily, consistent effort, especially when it's hard. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired, bored, or uninspired. It simply demands action. No delay, no debate, no waiting for the right moment. A disciplined man doesn't question whether or not to train, learn, or endure difficulty, he acts. When discipline rules your life, self-negotiation ends. You don't wrestle with should I or shouldn't I? You just follow through. That's the real strength of discipline. It erases hesitation. It crushes self-doubt because your mind is now trained to act, not overthink. While others waste time deciding, you're already executing. This habitual, automatic drive becomes who you are. You no longer need to push yourself. You've already chosen this path, and now you just maintain the fire that keeps you ahead. A man of discipline doesn't chase shortcuts. He knows that excellence is earned through relentless repetition, no matter the conditions. Motivation is often tied to outside triggers, music, an inspirational quote, a good mood. But what happens when everything around you goes dark? What happens on cold, rainy days when you feel off? That's where discipline thrives. It doesn't bend with your mood. It stands firm when everything else shifts. It's not about being fired up once in a while. It's about burning with steady purpose every single day. That's where your real power lies. Pushing forward even when nothing inside you wants to. With discipline, you're no longer ruled by emotion. You command your actions. You don't wait for motivation. You generate momentum through effort. You don't wait to feel inspired. You spark the flame through movement. Every time you choose discipline over ease, you reinforce a powerful mindset, one that depends on consistency, not convenience. It's easy to take action when you're motivated. The real test is showing up when you're not. That's why discipline will always be greater, because it's not powered by how you feel, but by a code you've committed to. Disciplined people don't view challenges as signs to stop. They see them as steps on the path. When fatigue hits, they push through. When doubt creeps in, they don't dwell. They lean on the strength of their commitment. Forward motion becomes non-negotiable. Discipline stops being something you do. It becomes who you are. It embeds itself in your habits, your identity, your way of life. You become unstoppable, not because you're stronger than others, but because you refuse to be led by momentary emotions. When others are waiting to feel right, you're already deep into the grind, creating your legacy. People will start to notice your consistency, not because you flaunt it, but because it's rare. They'll ask how you maintain focus. They won't get it. They won't realize it's not about being pumped up, it's about being locked in. They might call it obsession, but this isn't about rage or aggression. It's about self-command. It's about refusing to let your mind drift toward weakness or let your body slide into comfort. You train yourself to live at a higher standard, not for applause, not for praise, but because it's who you are. Discipline makes you tough, it builds resilience, because you're not reacting to pressure, you're staying the course. When motivation fails others, you remain unshaken. You've outgrown the need to feel good. Now you act based on your mission. When you drop your dependency on motivation, you remove emotional volatility from the equation. You become predictable only to yourself, unshakable, grounded. Your environment doesn't move you, your discipline does. You don't fear hard times, you're trained for them. When challenges appear, you don't retreat, you lean in. You're not scrambling for strength because you've built it over time. Your patterns are concrete. Your attention is locked in. When others buckle, you're steady because your life is rooted in disciplined action, not emotion. You're not chasing outside inspiration. You've created it inside yourself. Discipline makes you unstoppable because it's rooted in identity, not temporary emotion. People may call it obsession, but it runs deeper. It's about purpose, about holding the line when no one's watching. It's about trusting yourself completely. When you set a goal, you go after it like it's life or death. You don't wait for the right energy, you build it. You don't wish for results, you create them through repetition and effort. You're not looking for shortcuts, you respect the long road because it carves strength. Discipline becomes your reputation, your standard, your edge. It's not a punishment, it's a privilege. It's how you bring your vision to life. Discipline is the true path to greatness because they understand that each sacrifice they make is a seed planted for their future success. It's not about what you feel like doing, it's about what must be done to reach your destination. People who shy away from sacrifice choose to stay average, while those who lean into it go on to leave legacies behind. Sacrifice isn't about losing something, it's a deliberate exchange, giving up the ordinary to claim the extraordinary. Time is the first price you pay. While others are lost in constant entertainment, you're investing your hours in study, in discipline, in building your dream. It's not because you dislike relaxation. It's because you know that every moment spent in distraction is a moment robbed from your destiny. When you decide to become exceptional, you willingly trade shallow interactions for deep, purposeful relationships. You replace meaningless talk with knowledge and swap fleeting enjoyment for achievements that endure. Sacrifice means choosing development over gratification. It requires the strength to reject distractions, even when they're seductive. It's the awareness that the path to greatness is lined with the things you're willing to let go. Comfort is another offering you must place on the altar of excellence. Greatness doesn't live in ease. It is born in discomfort, in pushing past what is familiar and simple. Those who avoid sacrifice cling to comfort, never realizing that comfort slowly destroys ambition. They stagnate, dreaming of success, but unwilling to suffer for it. But the ones who value sacrifice walk straight into discomfort. They voluntarily put themselves in tough environments, knowing that real power is forged through adversity. It's not enough to give your all when it's convenient. You have to push yourself when it's hard, when it hurts, when every part of you wants to stop. Even your ego must be surrendered. True discipline demands humility, the willingness to admit you don't have all the answers, the bravery to seek guidance, and the openness to accept correction. Those who protect their pride avoid the discomfort of growth because they fear embarrassment, but that fear becomes their greatest weakness. The disciplined soul trades pride for progress, invites feedback, and turns every mistake into a stepping stone. He doesn't chase approval. He's too focused on improving himself. He's not ashamed to start from the ground up or to struggle away from the spotlight because he knows sacrifice is not a flaw, it's a tool. Sacrifice also requires cutting loose the habits and people that pull you down. You cannot reach the highest level while surrounded by those who drain your energy or cloud your purpose. The disciplined person is strategic about who he keeps close. He sacrifices shallow friendships in exchange for mentors who challenge him, peers who inspire him, and partners who walk beside him toward the same vision. He cuts out laziness, procrastination, and self-doubt, recognizing them for what they are, chains that bind his potential. This isn't loneliness, it's elevation. It's choosing solitude over surrounding yourself with mediocrity. It's knowing that your surroundings will influence your success. Dreams don't just require sacrifice once, they demand it over and over again. Sacrifice is a constant demand, a fierce and daily decision. It's practicing your craft when no one's paying attention, when there's no applause, no trophy, no recognition. It's choosing discipline instead of distraction, focus instead of fleeting fun, endurance instead of giving up. Those afraid of sacrifice find excuses, but those who embrace it make history. Because sacrifice is the ultimate test. It reveals whether your dreams are just empty wishes or if they truly deserve everything you've got. And if they do, then no price is too high. Self-control is the highest form of strength. It's the ability to command your actions not through emotions, but through intention. In a world packed with endless distractions and non-stop temptation, self-control becomes a rare and powerful gift. It's saying no when others say yes, staying on course when others drift, and moving forward when everyone else stalls. Those who master it don't rely on bursts of motivation. They've developed something stronger, a disciplined mind. They don't chase momentary pleasures because they've committed to a greater cause. Self-control isn't just a skill, it's the cornerstone of greatness. Developing it starts with recognizing your internal triggers. It's understanding that your mind is a battlefield where instinct competes with discipline and emotion attempts to overrule purpose. But the disciplined individual knows how to quiet the internal noise. He doesn't let urges steer his behavior, whether it's a craving for unhealthy food, a pull toward social media, or the urge to delay. He has the power to say no, not because he's numb, but because he knows freedom doesn't come from indulging every desire. Real freedom is the strength to choose what's right over what's easy. Self-control is mastering the art of delaying gratification. While others want instant rewards and fast pleasure, the disciplined person waits. He understands that what matters most takes time. He's willing to work without immediate praise, knowing that consistent effort adds up. He saves when others waste. He studies when others are entertained. He trains when others are idle. He doesn't fall for the illusion of shortcuts because he knows lasting success isn't handed to you, it's earned. Self-control is his inner compass, leading him away from empty rewards and toward lasting outcomes. To master self-control is to gain power over your emotions. Anger, fear, frustration, these are natural, but they don't dominate the disciplined mind. He doesn't explode when provoked, nor does he collapse under pressure. Instead, he stays calm, steady, and calculated. He recognizes emotions as powerful, but passing. He channels them into fuel, not shackles. When others lose focus under stress, he sharpens his. When others drown in negativity, he digs deeper into purpose. Self-control is his armor, guarding his mind against chaos and letting him act with clarity and strength. Self-control isn't about suppression, it's about direction. It's not pretending you don't want anything, it's aiming your desires at what truly matters. The disciplined person doesn't deny himself everything. He simply filters out what wastes his time, energy, and life. He won't spend time on pointless arguments, feed habits that damage him, or invest energy in people who drag him down. His self-control is precise. It's the ability to choose growth over indulgence, greatness over ease, and mission over noise. In a world full of distractions, his self-control becomes his razor-sharp focus, cutting through the static and staying locked on his goal. But self-control isn't something you're born with. It's something you create. It's a muscle that strengthens with every disciplined decision. Every time you resist a temptation, you get stronger. Every time you hold your focus while others drift, you gain control. Self-control is built choice by choice, forged in the fire of consistent effort. Each choice you make daily shapes your destiny. It's rising before the sun when staying in bed is easier. It's choosing discipline over comfort, pushing through training when rest calls, and tackling work instead of surrendering to procrastination. Those without self-control become servants to their cravings, but those who master it become unstoppable forces. They don't need someone to guide them. They've become their own leaders. Real development is forged in the fires of difficulty. It's not a lucky accident, but the byproduct of facing trials head-on rather than sidestepping them. Pain isn't your enemy, it's your greatest instructor. Those who grasp this truth don't shrink from pain, they welcome it. They see every painful experience as a tutor, a challenge to their resolve, a rite of passage to something far greater. Where others flee from hardship, they sprint toward it, knowing that strength is born from struggle and honor is forged in hardship. Real progress demands the courage to abandon the ease of routine and confront the unfamiliar, the place where you're forced to adjust, to learn, and to grow. Uncomfort is the toll you pay for becoming something greater. The man of discipline doesn't avoid trials, he pursues them. He strengthens both his mental resilience and his physical fortitude because he understands that in the heat of pressure, true character emerges. While others moan about their burdens, he embraces them. Where others invent excuses, he crafts solutions. Pain isn't a penalty, it's a privilege. It proves you're surpassing your limits, evolving from who you were into who you must become. Real growth doesn't dwell in what's easy. It's born in the moments where quitting whispers loudly, yet you choose to press on. Pain reflects your deficiencies, exposing the areas you must confront. But the disciplined one doesn't hide from this exposure, he studies it. If his stamina is lacking, he digs deeper. If his understanding is shallow, he studies more intently. Pain uncovers your weaknesses, but it also hands you the tools to repair them. It never lies. It never flatters. It holds a mirror to your reality and asks you, will you stay stagnant or rise above it? Growth isn't just about building strength. It's about identifying and eliminating every weakness. Those who dodge pain avoid evolution. They stay trapped within their cozy routines, convincing themselves that security equates to success. But comfort is a prison. It shrinks your potential. It feeds you soothing lies, making you believe that dodging difficulty is smart. True intelligence knows better. Growth demands the grit to suffer. The one who seeks discomfort doesn't do so for the sake of suffering. He does so because he knows that beyond it lies excellence. He welcomes hunger to sharpen his self-discipline, fatigue to elevate his performance, and feedback, no matter how harsh, in his quest for mastery.